Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alex, I'm an international personal stylist, and today we are talking about the long-term habits and investments that will make you look more attractive. Now this video is a follow-on video to my previous video that was about the 11 ways to look instantly more attractive. These habits and investments that I'm about to talk about can be expensive, they take time, they take effort, but ultimately they are going to maximize your attractiveness in the long term. Let's get into the video. Now, the first one is having a really good skincare routine. Great skin is not made or fixed overnight. It is about the effort that you put in long term. Any elderly woman who has great skin generally had a really good skincare routine. They stayed out of the sun, they wore sunscreen, and they did their skincare routine in the morning and in the evening. This is something that you can't take back. This is why plastic surgery exists, and there are a lot of people now who get facelifts because they didn't do the work when they were younger. Looking after your skin and making it a priority to take off your makeup in the evening and to make sure that you are using the right products for your skin type will look after your biggest organ, your skin. So what I recommend that you do is that you go to the best skincare clinic or dermatologist in your area and talk with them about your specific skincare issues. It might be wrinkles, it might be pimples, it might be texture, it might be discoloration. Talk to a professional and find a routine that works. Now, the next point is laser hair removal. For many women, laser hair removal is a game changer. It not only saves them time, but for people who have really dark hair and don't enjoy having lots of hair on their legs, their arms, their armpits, etc., this is something that saves them time, gives them more confidence, and overall makes them look and feel better. Now, there are some people who completely disagree with shaving, waxing, hair removal in general. This isn't for you, but if you're someone who enjoys a smoother look, this is something worth considering. If you're looking to get this done, you need to go to a professional. I have seen terrible burn marks. They need to have a great machine with the safest settings. Make sure they have a really good reputation. Make sure the machine is tested. Make sure you are going with an experienced practitioner. Do not go to a cheap and ready place to do this. Do not use a practitioner who has little to no experience. Go with the best. This is your body. Be careful. But for many people, it is so worth it. Now, the next is color analysis. This is my area of expertise as a stylist, and the reason why I believe in color analysis is because when you have your palette, you are able to shop with purpose. You are able to make yourself look more attractive because your palette is designed to even out your skin tone and bring out your beauty. Whether you're in autumn, a spring, a winter, a summer, knowing your palette and your specific sub-palette is just going to bring out your beauty to the next level, making you feel so confident when you're not wearing makeup or when you're feeling less polished than usual. Having a wardrobe that really works for you means that you don't feel like you have to wear as much makeup because your skin will naturally be evened out. Now, in terms of a recommendation here, you can use my services for color analysis, or you can go to an experienced person in your area if you would prefer to be draped in person. Butting in here to say, if you enjoy my content, would you please consider subscribing? I have 8,000 people subscribed now, which is crazy because I only started YouTube just this year. And also, if you're watching this video, you might think you're subscribed when you're actually not, because I have way more people watch my videos than are actually subscribed. So please help out the channel and me as a creator by subscribing on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, or feel free to check out my styling services. I've had so many people come through YouTube recently, and it is wonderful to have such educated clients. Back into the video. Now, the next one is teeth straightening. Now, I personally went through having braces, and I had 4 adult teeth removed. Now, this is not the practice now, and there are many things like Invisalign and a whole bunch of other clear aligners that are out there in the market to help your teeth get straight. One thing I will say is there are a lot of orthodontists that have a big problem with some of the clear aligners out there, so make sure that if you are going to invest in straightening your teeth through orthodontics or through smile aligners or clear tray aligners, is that you go with a really reputable company so that you're not sacrificing your bite for the sake of having straight teeth. Your bite is very important, and it can be very uncomfortable when your bite becomes unaligned. Why do I know so much about this? I have friends who are dentists and orthodontists, and I also went through 2 years of braces and bands, but there are so many better options these days. Sometimes for a really severe crooked mouth, you are going to have orthodontics done in the classic braces styles, maybe even bite expanders, etc. Go to a really reputable place. This is not cheap. I think you should know that the cheap clear aligners companies are the ones that orthodontists and dentists are most worried about. Not because they're worried that it's going to take them out of business, but because they're worried about the work they're going to have to fix. There are so many dentists and orthodontists that are in the business of fixing bad clear aligners work because there are cowboy companies out there. The next one is a hair care routine to help you grow your thickest, longest hair. Why does this take time? Because when you're not raking through your hair and using cheap crap products, it takes time. You want to really take time putting all of your products through your hair and raking it through. You want to make sure that you're spending time doing a mask in the shower once a week. You want to spend time double cleansing, and you want to do this over a 5-year period. Having long, thick, healthy hair is not earned overnight unless you get a whole bunch of extensions put in. Long, thick, healthy hair is earned over half a decade. This is 5 years of growth. Healthy hair takes time, but boy, is it worth it. Now, not everyone has the same hair potential as others. For example, me. I have very rare hair. It is very uncommon to have this kind of hair. However, I have not always had thick, healthy hair. This has taken me time to earn. It is really important to work out what your own hair potential is, and this really does depend on your hair growth cycle. So I personally have a genetic ability to have my hair grow really long because my hair doesn't fall out super quickly. There are some people whose hair falls out after, let's say, 3 or 4 years. At this point, I actually don't know how long my hair can grow. I might be like one of those Russian princesses who can grow it to the ground. We will see. I'm still growing it. Now, the next one is sunscreen. Now, I have talked briefly about a skincare routine, but sunscreen is incredibly important. Your skin will age under the sun, and it will also age because of gravity and just getting older. That's kind of life. Our cells don't renew as well as they did when we were little babies. So sunscreen is really important to help your skin be protected from radiation and all the damage that can be caused by it. Also super risky things like cancers or like sunspots, extra moles you really don't want. Use your sunscreen. You cannot take this back. Now, I've seen some crazy peels that have been done where people literally peel off an entire layer of their skin. While I've seen these videos on Instagram and they look incredibly impressive, they can also be incredibly damaging. Essentially, those are like 2nd or 3rd degree burns that people are actively doing to themselves. So be careful. You can't really undo huge amounts of skin damage, or it's incredibly expensive to. The best thing is just putting on sunscreen every single morning and reapplying, which I'm not so great at, but it would be worth doing. Now, the next is Botox and filler. Now, I understand that this is very controversial. However, look, I do both. I do filler once a year. I tend to tackle one area per year with about 1 ml, and I do Botox about 3 times a year. Sometimes 4, depending on what the year's looking like. Now, this is a long-term investment because filler, as we know these days, actually lasts years and years and years and years. It doesn't disintegrate as we used to think, it actually just migrates. I really, really like well-placed filler. It helps you look younger and it helps add proportion to your face. I think I've had 2 mils in my chin at this point, which is great because I have a naturally recessed chin. I also personally really love Botox because for the 3 months that it's working, oh, I just love how fresh it makes me look. Now, I know this isn't for everyone and some people are really against it. I know that it works really well for me. It doesn't work really well for everyone. I recommend looking at the twin studies where there has been twins who have done it and twins who haven't and how it has preserved their skin over time. I would just make sure that you're going to a really experienced practitioner who keeps up with all of the current studies and loves what they do. Now, you can have average skin, crooked teeth, average hair, and you know it would make the most difference having a fit and healthy body. There is no replacement for exercise. Going to the gym or working out 3 to 4 times a week is going to make the biggest difference in your attractiveness. It is so important to look after your muscle tone. It is so important, particularly as you get older, as a woman, to lift more weights. This protects you from injury and ensures that you're going to have the best life possible, the most independence possible. Muscle is also really attractive. It looks fantastic when your muscles are kept in good shape, and it helps you make the most of your own natural proportion. I really do recommend working out. There isn't a replacement for it. Keeping a low visceral fat level is also really important for your organs. Now, for those of you who think that lifting weights is going to make you look like a female bodybuilder, I hate to break it to you, but it won't, because this is me after just under a year of bodybuilding. I do not look like a crazy bodybuilder, I just look like a Barbie. It actually takes a huge amount of effort over a lot of years in order to look like a muscle mommy, as they call themselves. It's only going to make you look more attractive and make the most of your own natural proportion. It's only going to make you firmer, tighter, and just give you more of a V-shaped or hourglass shape. It just makes the most of your body. So please don't be scared about working out. Take safety precautions. Don't go super heavy if you haven't earned it. Start light and build up over time. Now, I'm going to preface everything I've just said with, I'm not a health professional. So I do recommend that you speak to a health professional if you haven't worked out before, just to make sure that everything is a-okay. But you can definitely walk if you have the ability to. And I know even with people who have disabilities, there are generally some exercises that you can do at home. Looking after your body is going to make you look more attractive. Following on from that point, it is really hard to compensate for a bad diet. Ultimately, if you don't eat a healthy, balanced diet, you can walk as much as you want to, you can exercise as much as you want to. Abs are made in the kitchen. Now, you may not want abs, but bodies are generally made in the kitchen. So if you want to look your most attractive, as I've said before, keeping a relatively low or healthy visceral fat level is one of those things that you can do. And in order to do that, it's about eating lean protein, eating your vegetables, and making sure that you're not consuming a huge amount of processed food. If you do not know what a healthy diet looks like, I do recommend working with a dietitian. I personally have, and it was really great to hear from them the areas in my diet that I needed to improve in order to make sure that I was eating well. It's really important that after a meal that you still feel satiated. You need to understand how much fat, how much protein, how much carbs to eat, and how to eat in a balanced way so that you feel full. Please talk to a professional on this one. Find someone near you who specializes in women's health. It's also really important that if you still get your period and you're not through menopause, that you are regularly getting your period. So that is another thing that you want to watch for as you're eating a healthy diet or making changes to your diet. Following on from good diet, vitamins or vitamins. Let me know how you say it in the comments. When I was younger, my mother used to give us vitamins at nighttime that we would take right before bed. It was like a multivitamin and a vitamin C and a fish oil. If you're not one for taking vitamins, as I didn't for a very long time because I had heard from the grapevine that if you eat a balanced diet, you shouldn't really need vitamins. In recent months, I started taking a prenatal that was recommended by a naturopath, and I wake up with so much energy in the morning and I feel like my skin is a lot better too. So what I want to say about vitamins is get your blood checked, see if you have any deficiencies, and work with a doctor or a naturopath to find out what vitamins you need to be taking. Now, if you do have any deficiencies as recognized by a blood test, taking vitamins over time to deal with those deficiencies are just going to make you look better because it deals with anything that is causing thin or brittle hair, thin or brittle nails, skin which is really struggling. All of these things, skin, hair, nails, eye brightness, feeling really great, having pinkness in your skin, all of that is earned. It isn't fixed overnight. The long hair that you see before you is because I don't have many deficiencies. In fact, I don't have any. I keep myself really, really healthy. So talk to a naturopath, talk to a doctor, and see what's going on. Now, this is following on from an earlier point about orthodontics, but I want to talk about healthy faces and breathing well, because orthodontics or seeing an ENT or someone who deals with breathing through your nose and your airways and is able to create healthier faces is often a massive long-term investment because it helps you sleep better and exercise better, and it also makes you more attractive. Something that doctors in this area, they often say is healthy faces are attractive faces. So having that wide upper palate right here, having a jaw which is forward, mine is actually recessed, making sure that you have a straight nose so that your septum is straight and you can breathe properly. All of these things do impact your attractiveness. So if you are experiencing difficulty sleeping or exercising or anything like that, or you can only breathe out of one nostril at a time, get that checked. You might find out that you have a deviated septum, like I did. Now, these are expensive surgeries. This is an investment in both your health and potentially your attractiveness. I do recommend before making any changes to a breathing issue or a bite issue that you have a second opinion and that you have your options open. Now, if there's anything that I didn't mention, feel free to also put it in the comments because I'm really keen to hear what you think long-term habits or investments you can make that will make you look more attractive. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!